Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Halo Reach Legendary walkthrough. This is Mission 7, titled Exodus, and things are going from bad to worse. Now, at the end of the last level, unfortunately, we lost our first member of Noble Team, George. He gave his life to destroy the Covenant supercarrier, and he did so thinking that he was going to save Reach, and unfortunately, right after doing that, a huge invasion fleet showed up, basically rendering what he did pointless. And it was just really tragic. It was a sad thing to witness. And, you know, I know it sounds weird, but it's one of the things that makes this game great, is that it has a very meaningful story. In my opinion, the story in this game is just more impactful than in any other Halo game. And I don't necessarily know why. You know, I'm not one that is very good at overanalyzing plot lines and deeper themes, but I think it just has something to do with this sense of no matter what we do, we're just not going to win. Like, the Covenant is just too strong and too overwhelming, and no matter how much we fight to protect Reach, things just aren't going to go our way. And I don't know, it's just this kind of sense of tragedy that really makes the story feel meaningful. Anyway, you're gonna make your way into this building here. Let's try to perk up the conversation a little bit. So the grunts, one thing that they are prone to do in numerous Halo games is they act as kamikaze soldiers, and they will actually run at you with 2 primed plasma grenades, and their whole goal is to essentially, they're suicide bombers. They're gonna kill you and themselves. So what you're going to want to do is equip your pistol and just kind of walk through here slowly. Pay attention to your radar in the lower left-hand corner, and anytime you see a ping coming near you, prime your pistol and just get ready to pop a quick little headshot. Now, in these close quarters, sometimes it can actually help you out. If there are numerous grunts running at you with grenades, you can perhaps kill multiple of them with one explosion, like it right here in this tight little hallway. It's very possible to kill numerous grunts, all from one's explosion. But anyway, yeah, this is Chapter 7, or Mission 7. It's called Exodus. We have crash landed into the city, and now we are basically helping the Marines evacuate the civilians. And this is actually one of the easier chapters in the game. And I know that probably sounds weird at first, because this is Mission 7. You know, how could it why would the game get easier? And I don't necessarily know why they chose to do it, but at this point in the game, we're not going to actually have to fight any elites. Instead, we're going to be fighting a different type of Covenant alien called the Brutes. Now, the Brutes and the elites do not like each other, but regardless, they serve under the same organization or pact, which is the Covenant. So, anyway, we are going to be fighting Brutes. Now, the good thing is, in this game, most of the Brutes do not have shields, which means they actually only take about 4 to 5 shots in the head to take down. So a lot of them do wear helmets. So essentially what you have to do is you have to shoot them in the head like 2 or 3 times to knock off their helmet, and then you have to shoot them in the head once without the helmet on, and that will deliver the kill. Now, some of the higher ranking Brutes do have shields, and so for them we're going to treat them just the same as the typical elites, but even the Brutes with shields, their shields are typically not as strong as the elites' shields. And in case you're kind of wondering why, I have some thoughts for that. And they kind of go with the book that I'm currently reading that I've mentioned a couple times in this walkthrough, Contact Harvest. The elites joined the Covenant before the Brutes, so the Brutes didn't come until later on, and the two don't like each other. And so in this book I'm reading, Contact Harvest, you hear from this Brute, and he kind of talks about how they get the hand-me-downs from the elites. So all of the ships that the Brutes use, all of the weapons, or not all the weapons, but all the ships and everything like that, they get the hand-me-downs. They get the stuff that the elites don't want, and the elites save all the better stuff for them. And so that kind of got me thinking, in terms of this game, why would the Brutes at this point have either no shields or weaker shields? Because, I mean, look at this. Look how easily I'm killing these Brutes. And I think it goes along in line with that. This is probably, the time this takes place is probably not too long after the Brutes have joined the Covenant. They've been on the Covenant for a while now, but definitely not as long as the elites. So my kind of hypothesis is they're at the point where They just don't have shields because the elites haven't given them shields. The elites are basically saving the shields for themselves. Now, of course, that also would explain why only the higher ranking brutes get shields, because the elite, the elites have to make some sort of compromise. They're not just going to throw the brutes out there without any help. So they'll say, oh, okay, listen, we'll give your top generals shields, but the rest of your guys, screw them, they don't get anything. And yeah, so I just, that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy reading the Halo books. And if you end up finding this game enjoyable and interesting, I encourage you to maybe check out one of the books as well. I always recommend Fall of Reach. Contact Harvest is starting off pretty well, but I don't think it'd be a good first book to read. I think Fall of Reach would be the best one. But anyway, especially because obviously, if you can tell by the title by now, it's called Fall of Reach. It has to deal with the Covenant invasion of Reach and how humanity is ultimately going to possibly lose this planet of theirs. So it's a really good book, and that's why I enjoy reading the books, because it just gives you so much more backstory into the inner workings of the Covenant and everything that you don't really consider when you're playing the game, so that now when you are playing the game, there are a lot of things that you'll notice, these little subtleties, and you'll say, hey, I actually have an answer for that. And that comes from reading the books. It also comes from just being a huge nerd that has nothing better to do than obsess over Halo lore, but to each their own, I suppose, and that will be mine. Alright, so anyway, now we're going to come into this area here. There's going to be some grunts, there's going to be some brutes. Right here you can find yourself a DMR, which was lucky because I ran out of ammo for that and my pistol. So, yeah, it's definitely useful that the brutes don't take as much ammo to kill than the elites do. So again, you're going to kind of see right here, there's some brutes. Shoot him in the head. I shot him in the head right there twice, and I knocked off his helmet. Unfortunately, I couldn't deliver the final killing blow because they were shooting at me as well. But you can see that they don't have shields, and so that's another benefit. Sometimes if you're fighting an elite, you could shoot the elite like 6 times. You could eliminate their shields, and then the elite is just going to run away and hide. And then in that time, the shields will regenerate. So with the brutes, even if you're shooting a brute and knock off the helmet, even if that brute runs away, he's not going to put the helmet back on. He is still vulnerable to a one-hit, one-kill after that. So the elites are just definitely easier to kill all in all. And again, one of the reasons I point out that it's odd that they don't have shields is because in the later Halo games, you actually fight against brutes in Halo 2 and 3. I think in 2, I can't remember because it's been a while, but I know for a fact you fight against the brutes in Halo 3. And they do have shields. They have much better armor. Even the little brutes still have armor. It's not just like the chieftains. But anyway, let's count our blessings now that we don't have to deal with shielded brutes. Alright, so there's going to be some grenades and ammo down here. You can find a magnum, so you might want to pick that up. Another benefit of them not having shields is that you don't have to worry so much about picking up a plasma pistol. Now right here you can see just by this elite's helmet that he is a higher ranking elite. You could tell that he's not wearing just the typical helmet. He has a slightly stronger helmet, so you saw it took more hits to take it off there, but ultimately he'll fall down just the same. But like I was saying, since they don't have shields, that means that you don't have to use plasma pistols. So that means you can carry 2 weapons instead of just 1 weapon along with the pistol, or with the plasma pistol. So it kind of frees up your options a little more. You can maybe experiment with using the shotgun, which you're going to find later on in this level. You can try out any weapon you want. But yeah, guys, so anyway, on and off topic, I'm getting really excited. So at the time of recording this commentary, it is October 10th, and in 2 days, actually, let's see, so it's 7 p.m. right now on October 10th, so in exactly 50 hours, I'm going to be getting my hands on Evil Within 2, and I'm going to start playing that. I have been looking forward to that game for a while now, and I hope to be one of the first YouTubers to put up a hardest difficulty walkthrough, but the problem is with Evil Within, for the first game, to unlock the hardest difficulty, you actually had to beat the game once, so that means unlike most games, I'm not going to be able to get the walkthrough up as soon as possible. I'm going to have to play through the game once to unlock the hardest difficulty and then start on that adventure. So it might take a day or two to actually get the walkthrough started, but it should be a hell of a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, so once you're well supplied with ammo and grenades, you're going to activate this elevator. And you're going to have to wait. The elevator is going to take a while to get here. And in that time, you're going to get ambushed by a couple waves of grunts and brutes. So you'll get a checkpoint right here. And this fight is not that hard. Kind of the theme of this level. The fights are not that difficult. So right here, this is just where some reinforcements come from, but you can't go through there or anything. Anyway, so you'll see the defend icon next to the elevator. Again, you don't actually have to defend anything. You could run away if you want to. That's just there to tell you what your actual objective is. But I'm going to stand on the right side of this map because you're going to see that the enemies all come from the left side. And so what I'm going to do is, while the enemies are all kind of getting distracted by the Marines in the area, I'm going to shoot them from far away with my pistol and just get some headshots here and there. So you'll see I already took out 2 of the brutes. If you can, kill the brutes as fast as possible, because then all you have to worry about are grunts and jackals, which are significantly easier. Now here's a big guy. This guy has a weapon that you have not seen before. This is called a gravity hammer. It's a one-hit, one-kill. It's basically the brute equivalent of an energy sword. However, because they don't have armor, that guy scared me. I wasn't expecting 2 of them. But again, that's why I'm standing on this side of the map, because I have a little bit of a tactical advantage by standing on this stair set here. But anyway, make sure you kill those 2 brutes with the gravity hammers. But yeah, the hammers are essentially the brute equivalent of the energy sword. So the energy sword is one of the elite's weapons, a very, very cool weapon, like a fan favorite. The gravity hammers are a lot of fun. I typically don't use them like on a multiplayer setting. I prefer the energy sword. I think it's better. But the gravity hammers are fun nonetheless. They send your enemies flying in the air when you hit them. But then, of course, on legendary mode, I've basically been avoiding energy swords, and I'll do the same for gravity hammers, because on legendary you just can't really get close enough to actually do damage. You might be able to kill 1 guy with it, but if you're charging 3 enemies, you're going to get killed before you have a chance to do any significant harm. So I typically will avoid those weapons. Unless, of course, it's the only thing that you can pick up at the time. You know, it's better to have that than no weapon at all. So I think there does come a moment later on where I pick up a gravity hammer, and it's exactly because I didn't have anything else to choose from. But for the purposes of this right now, I'm going to just ignore them. Oh, never mind. I guess I did pick it up. I just wanted to show it. Okay, I should really start previewing the footage I record before I do commentary. But no, the only reason I picked up the gravity hammer right now is because I wanted to kind of show it to you guys. But I think I never ended up actually using it. So I will hopefully be right when I say that. I don't know what he's looking at. What are you looking at, dude? Stop looking at me. Now right here, I'm sitting here for a couple seconds waiting for the elevator doors to open, and then if you just turn around, I hate when elevators in games do this, but the door is behind you, so make sure you don't fall for that like I did. It seems like a lot of elevators in games do that. The elevators are like double doored, and I've never once used an elevator like that. I don't know if they actually exist. I'm sure they do, but I've never actually seen one. But they come up in games a lot. Alright, so you'll see now I have the DMR. I still have the gravity hammer just for laughs, but I think right here I'm going to actually swap it with the RPG, because remember, like I was saying, the gravity hammer, it's just not very useful. You typically can't get that close to the enemies you're trying to kill on legendary difficulty. Whereas the rocket launcher, it's a ranged weapon. It works well in close quarters and from far away. So that's why I'm going to make the swap. Now in here, you're going to pick up a jetpack. This is something we were briefly given in an earlier level, but now we're actually going to be forced to use it. So you're going to have to cross this gap here. Before doing so, I recommend using the RPG to take out the Banshees in the air. Again, it has this nice tracking feature, so it should only take you 2 shots. And I'm actually going to save the other 2 for the brutes that are coming up, because there is going to be one of the brutes with another gravity hammer, so it helps to have a powerful weapon to fight him. Alright, so just go ahead and jump these gaps. I think these, I can't see their armor very well, but, I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about the soldiers that I'm with right now. But anyway, just go ahead and follow them. This is the biggest gap you'll have to jump, so you can see you definitely are forced to use the jetpack here. It's not optional. And once you land over here, that's when the next wave of enemies is going to spawn. So right there you saw that I shot a grunt carrying a fuel rod cannon. Always prioritize them. The fuel rod cannon is one of the strongest weapons in the game. But from here, it's pretty simple, especially with the DMR. There's just going to be a handful of grunts and then brutes. But we'll focus on the brutes in a little bit. It helps to get a little closer to them. Alright, so I'm going to land on the lower floor here, and I'm actually going to take the stairs. That way I can plan this a bit more carefully. And I'm basically going to shoot all of the enemies from this location right here. So you'll see that I got a checkpoint, and then I died, so that's why there was the cut in the video. Now, for those of you new to my channel, you'll notice in this walkthrough that I say that a lot. I always point out when there's a cut in the video. And I do that because I don't want there to be any suspicions when it comes to my content. You know, a lot of stuff on the internet can be faked. A lot of people can say that they're playing on a difficulty when they're actually playing on an easier difficulty just to get views. And that's something I take very seriously. I always want there to be a level of transparency with my channel where you guys can trust the content that I'm pushing out, and you know, I hope to earn your guys' trust and respect when it comes to that. So that's why whenever there's something that could look suspicious, I point it out. So for example, you might be asking, okay, so real quick, here's the elites out here. When the guy with the hammer, he's going to eventually charge at you. When he does, that's when it pays to use the rocket launcher. So I'm going to just kind of keep poking my head out to see where he is, and then eventually I'll see him running at me, and that's when I'm going to back up with the rocket launcher and shoot him as soon as he comes into the doorway. But anyway, so you might be asking, like, well, why would cuts in the video make things look suspicious? And so let me point it this way. A lot of games you can switch the difficulty halfway through a level. So if a difficulty is too tough, you can usually go to the options menu, lower the difficulty, and be on your merry way. And so, I mean, picture this scenario. Take this firefight, for example. Say that I just could not beat this firefight. Say that I was dying 50 times and I just couldn't beat it. Well, what I could do is I could go to the pause menu, lower the difficulty, and then keep playing on the lower difficulty, but I could try to pass it off as playing on the harder difficulty. And, you know, as you can imagine, if I were to do that, if I edited that out, there would be a small cut in the video. So that's why I like to point that out, so that you guys know why there was a cut in the video. And specifically, it's because I died, and that's where, you know, I always make my cuts at the nearest checkpoint. But yeah, so that's exactly what I'm talking about. I always try to explain what I do in my videos, just to have that level of transparency so that you guys can hopefully trust me and my content, and you know, that just makes for a better channel, in my opinion, when everyone's on the same page and everyone can appreciate the content in the same way. Alright, so anyway, I still have the rocket launcher, and I'm actually going to get a really cool kill with it. But before I do that, there's a couple grunts and a couple elites that I need to take care of. Now, one of the elites has a pretty powerful weapon. You can see him shooting it across the screen right now. It's those giant plasma bursts that are flickering across the screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up these stairs, and I'm going to get myself another checkpoint, and then I'm going to die. So you'll see once again another cut in the video right here. And now we're going to work on fighting this guy. So check out this kill. This one's pretty sweet. I'm going to charge him with the rocket launcher. I'm going to use my jetpack, and I'm actually going to shoot him in midair. So check this out. This one's pretty cool. This is one for the books. Jump up, jetpack, boom. Pretty sweet. That's one way the jetpack is very useful, is getting above your enemies, and then they have a harder time shooting you. And you see that he was about to throw a plasma grenade. That grenade would have missed me because I was, you know, 15 feet above him in the air. So the jetpack is pretty effective, and even though I don't use it too much on the campaign, back when I played the multiplayer religiously for this game, I always used the jetpack. That was my modifier of choice. Even over sprints, I always used the jetpack. Alright, so right here, I got a little bit turned around. It doesn't quite tell you where you need to go. It's just telling me to go over there, but I'm sitting here like, well, how do I get over there? So eventually I'll figure it out in a couple seconds. You just need to use the jetpack to get up to a higher level. So in a second, I'm bound to figure that out. Here we go. Good job, Nick. Only took you 30 seconds. Okay, and now you can carry on. So in case you're wondering, this city is called New Alexandria. I don't know, that's also going to be the name of the next level. So, I don't know, just another piece of knowledge for you. Anyway, there's another rocket launcher right here, so if you want, you can take that with you. It's always helpful. And again, you know, given the fact that you don't have to constantly be carrying around a plasma pistol with you, that's why I feel comfortable using the rocket launcher. You know, if I was fighting elites right now, I wouldn't even pick up the rockets. I would just get a plasma pistol. Alright, so right here, you're going to have a sniper across the way. Make sure you prioritize him, take him out first. Boom, headshot. And I think there's only one, at least for now. So you're good for a couple seconds. So then just go ahead and pick off the little guys, and then once we advance a little further, that's going to spawn some elites. Or sorry, not some elites, some brutes. And this part can actually be a little tricky just given the layout of the map, but I'm going to do my best to walk you through it. Alright, so stick under this roof here, and you'll see finally the brutes up on that higher level. So now that we've gone far enough to trigger them, I'm going to come back a couple steps, and I'm going to try to at least take one of them out from far away. Again, the benefit of the DMR, it is a very long-ranged weapon. I've said it before, I'll say it again, the DMR is my favorite weapon in the Halo universe, even more than the battle rifle. I like the single shot better than the 3-round burst. That's actually one thing I'm dreading is, so the next game in the franchise chronologically is Halo 1, and in Halo 1, there is no battle rifle and there is no DMR. The only weapons you have, the only human weapons you have in that game that can scope are the pistol and the sniper rifle. And the rocket launcher, but that doesn't really count. So, like, imagine fighting all of the elites in Halo 1 with just the pistol. And then I'm going to have to use a plasma pistol. But Halo 1, I've actually never beaten Halo 1 on Legendary. In fact, I've only ever beaten 2 of the levels on Legendary. So that is going to be quite the challenge. And to be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to do it by myself at this point. What I might end up doing is I might do my first co-op walkthrough. And I might actually play through the game with my friend Enrico, both on Legendary, and kind of experiment with that and see how that goes. But that's a job for a few months from now, because the next couple months are going to be filled with new games. There's Evil Within 2, there's Assassin's Creed, there's South Park, there's Call of Duty, there's Battlefront 2, there's Vampire. There's a lot of new stuff coming out. Alright, so checkpoint right here. So you'll see that cut in the video. Go ahead and kill those jackals. Now you're going to see a brute running at me with a gravity hammer. So I'm going to lure him over. Pull out the handy dandy rocket launcher. And boom goes the dynamite. Okay, so again, if you want, you can pick up his gravity hammer, but it's just not very effective. Now this part is kind of tricky. The enemies are positioned in a tough spot, so you got to be quick here, and I'll try to show you the best way to go about doing this. Now unfortunately, I just ran into a tough spot. I ran out of DMR ammo, and as you can see, there's a sniper up there. So here's where we have to improvise a bit. Again, I'm about to get another checkpoint, and there will be a cut in the video right here. Alright, so what you're going to want to do, as soon as you get to this location, pick up the shotgun, run up these stairs, shoot him, and then shoot the grunt, and then immediately take cover under this structure right here. The reason we're doing this is because there is a brute directly above us, and he has a powerful weapon. So by standing directly under him, he's not able to actually shoot us. And now what I'm going to do, notice how I'm kind of hugging the wall right here. That's because the brute is on the next floor, so by hugging the wall, it reduces my target so that he has a harder time of shooting me. You can see he's not even trying to shoot me right now because I'm just not really visible to him. And now we're going to make our move So I'm going to prep my rocket launcher. That's the quickest way to kill the brute in this situation. And there he is. So rockets away. You see one didn't do the job, so this guy, he's higher ranking. He has shields. So there we go. Second one should finish it off. Again, the beauty of the jetpack right there. Okay, and now there's just a couple grunts and jackals to worry about, but one of these grunts does have a fuel rod cannon, so be careful. Take out the shotgun if you picked it up. There he is. Again, you can see the green gas spilling from their helmets. I told you in the last video that's because the grunts actually breathe methane. So that's what you see when you shoot their masks off. Okay, now right here, once all these enemies are taken care of, you should get yourself another checkpoint. And we're getting pretty close. We're getting closer to the end. We're a little over halfway through. So you're about to see a cut in the video. I'm going to pick up this fuel rod cannon, and I'm going to go up these stairs here. And there's going to be two brutes right up the stairs. So go ahead and shoot them with the fuel rod. It should take 1 to 2 hits to kill them. Alright, and now comes the hard part. There are a good number of brutes down below on the floor below us. And one of them does have pretty high-powered shields, and he has a fuel rod cannon himself. So there he is. I'm going to start shooting at him. Took me 3 shots. And once he's out of the way, that's the biggest threat here. So now it's just kind of mopping things up. So I'm going to slowly venture downstairs. Take on the remaining grunts with, take on the remaining enemies with the fuel rod cannon. There is plenty of ammo lying around here. A lot of enemies in this level have this weapon, so it's not too hard to find ammo for it. Now be careful. Outside on the landing pad are 2 turrets. And you can see one of them almost got me because I was positioned poorly. But before you take on the turrets, Gravity Hammer Brute is going to spawn. So let him get close. Pop 3 fuel rods into his face. And he is no more. Alright, so remember how I killed a brute with the fuel rod cannon. So now I'm going to go pick up his ammo. Always pay attention to the enemies that you're killing, because oftentimes it pays to know what kind of gun they're using so that you can steal their ammo once they're dead. And so now at this point I'm going to try to take out those turrets. So notice how I'm using this thing in front of me for cover against the turrets. First I got to take out this pesky brute and jackal. And notice too how every time I'm walking in front of this door I'm kind of jumping, and that's just to ensure that the turrets don't hit me. So now I'm going to pop out. 1 shot should do it. There's the, so I wasted one right there. But that's 1 turret down. Here goes the next one. Should again only take 1 shot. Again, I wasted it, but that's okay because I don't really need it for this upcoming part. And there you go. That is all of the enemies in this area. So feel free to restock up on some weapons and grenades. There's some shotgun ammo back here. And now we're good to move on to the final part of the level. There's about 10 minutes left of gameplay, and then that will be the end of this chapter. Oh, I forgot about 2 grunts. Look at that. So this is kind of where things get tough on Legendary. I was talking about how even a grunt can present a threat, and that's exactly what's happening right here. Like, if I were to go outside, those 2 grunts could have easily killed me. So I'm just being kind of timid here, letting them get close, and then I'm going to pop out with the shotgun. And there we go. And I'm not too worried about preserving shotgun ammo here, because I'm not really going to need it in the next section. So don't worry about that too much. Alright, so now your objective is to evacuate the civilian transports. Right there, that achievement I got for swapping a weapon with an AI partner. So this soldier that was standing in front of me, he had an assault rifle. So I swapped weapons with him, and that's a really easy achievement to pick up. Alright, so we're going to hop on the chopper, and we're going to hop into the turret seat. And we're going to have to do a bit more of this. So we did something similar to this, I think, two levels ago, except we had a grenade launcher instead of a turret. Same difference here. Just do be warned that the turret can overheat. So the grenade launcher we used could not overheat, but this can, so be careful.
Evac transport Delta 1-5 to evac dispatch.
Alright, here we go. So this part can actually be a little tricky because it's hard to see all of the enemies. There's just a lot, and you can see that by the architecture of these buildings, there's a lot of different levels. So right here, there are 2 brutes that I'm going to start shooting at. Now there's some grunts on this floor that I have to worry about. Now here's a little trick. You see me right now shooting this guy with the gravity hammer. Don't do that. Don't waste time on shooting those guys because they have gravity hammers. They can't hurt you. You're in a helicopter. So don't even worry about them. Like, it's just kind of natural instinct. You want to shoot the enemy that looks the most powerful. So again, this guy, he has a gravity hammer. Not even going to worry about it because he can't do anything to me. I mean, sure, he can kill those humans down there, but, you know, that's not my concern. I know it sounds bad to say, but it's true. So just shoot the guys that have guns. Make them your priority. Okay, and we're about halfway through with the helicopter section. We're going to pass a couple more buildings. And again, like I said, it's just kind of hard to see where all of the enemies are. So that's going to be your biggest challenge here. There are some wraiths down there, and you can see how those just serve as distractions. So I'm shooting the wraiths. Meanwhile, enemies are actually shooting me from the rooftops because I was distracted by the wraiths. So don't make that mistake either. The wraiths are just there to distract you. Okay, and that is all we have left to do in the turret. Now you see this giant kind of war zone down here. That's where we're going to go next. So if you want to, you can kind of just start shooting into the, shooting into the area and hope to kill some aliens, but you're probably not going to be able to. It's kind of too far away. So yeah, like right down there, that's where we're going to be headed, but the helicopter is going to drop us off right here. So before you get out, make sure you kill all of these little guys at least. Save yourself some ammo once you get your boots on the ground. And there we go. Oh, nope, one more.
I got 5,000 civilians across the bay waiting for passage out. I need you to arm those batteries and fire those missiles from the central terminal. Understood? Corvette's been a pain in my ass for too damn long. Give it hell, Spartan.
Alright. So let's do what he just told us to do. Go ahead and swap your weapons if you want to. Video's going to cut right here because you're going to get a checkpoint. So I'm going to take with me the DMR, and it looks like I have a plasma pistol, even though I'm not going to really need to use that. Alright, and so now we come to another classic situation where this area has a lot of like wraiths in it and ghosts, and so you're going to kind of think, oh, I need to kill all of the alien vehicles, and that is not the case. For the most part, you can actually just run through this section and kill a minimal amount of enemies. So again, you see this ghost right here. Now this one, you might actually want to try to shoot the, this one, it is worth it to kill the grunt that's piloting the ghost because we're going to make a run for it. And unless you kill him, he can probably easily pick you off while you're running. So I'm just trying to shoot the top of his head. There we go. He finally fell out, and now I can make my move. And then I think that's the only vehicle I'm actually going to kill. I'm not going to pay the wraiths any attention. I think throughout this entire playthrough, I've only actually killed one wraith, and that doesn't happen until like level 10 or level 9. Alright, so anyway, first things first, you're going to scale these stairs up here. There's not going to be any enemies to worry about, so that's a plus. Now remember this location, because this is where we're actually going to go at the end of the level. This is where we finish things. But before that, you're going to come to this large kind of bridge here. And we're going to have to go all the way down to where we see that activate beacon. And that's going to activate the AA gun. And there's going to be 2 of those that we have to do. So I'm going to start by just using my DMR to pick off all the little guys. Eventually some brutes are going to spawn, but with the DMR's range you can kill a lot of these guys from all the way back here. However, because of the layout, it is possible for them to evade you pretty easily, so at some point you're going to want to make your move and start advancing. Always try to stay under something because you will notice there is a wraith shooting at me, so it pays to be a little careful with that. But again, like I said, I'm not really even going to pay the wraith any attention. It's just not worth it. You don't have to kill the wraith. So instead I'm going to focus on these brutes. I definitely shot that. Sometimes I really get pissed off at Halo. I definitely shot that brute like 4 times in the head and he was not wearing a helmet, and yet somehow he didn't die. It's those little inconsistencies that really bother me. But anyway, I'm going to go around the side here and try to flank these guys. So it looks like most of them are already dead, save for one or two. Go ahead and kill him. Someone's shooting at me. Make sure we kill that guy as well. And there he is. A little bit of a stronger brute, but not a problem for us. Alright, and now I can activate the AA gun. And that's going to give us a checkpoint. And that's going to... There are a lot of weapons you can choose from right here. One that you might want to pick up, there is a rocket launcher nearby. So you might want to take that. But here we go. I'm going to activate the AA gun. That's going to give us a checkpoint. Here's the rocket launcher. And now we're going to focus on taking out the second AA gun, and then from there we're pretty much golden. So there's our objective. You can see there's a Wraith down there shooting. And like I said, I'm just going to ignore the Wraiths. So again, you'll see a cut in the video right there. Here's what you're going to do. Go up the stairs to this glass bridge right here. And we're just going to take this bridge all the way across to where the second AA gun is. Now this guy's going to be blocking your path. He has shields, so be careful. He also has a plasma grenade launcher. But it only takes a couple headshots to take him out of the picture for good. Alright, and now take out his buddies at the end of the bridge. You have a lot of cover on this bridge, so you don't really have to worry about the Wraiths, just like I said. Make sure you take out the grunts as well. Now this guy's going to have a gravity hammer, so try to draw him out. That guy did a lot more damage on me than I expected. But I'm not going to panic. Just play it cool. Be patient. Kill the jackal while I'm at it. Alright, so here comes this guy with the gravity hammer again. Finally took him out. And it looks like there are just a couple guys left. And that Marine over there is doing essentially nothing. Not like I'm surprised. The jackals are really annoying. There we go. Took me like 10 shots, but I did it. And now we're good to go activate the second AA gun. So go ahead and do that. You'll get yourself another checkpoint. Looks like I accidentally missed the controls. I didn't press the button. I almost paid the price. Because I had to backtrack, the Wraith almost killed me. Luckily there's a health pack right there. And now as soon as you do that, you're going to make your way over here. Move as fast as you can. Don't stay still for too long because the Wraiths can still shoot you from this location. Alright, and so what we're going to do is there's going to be a whole lot of enemies right here, and we're going to kill a couple of them just so that we can free up our path, and then we're going to make our move. So first I'm going to kill this guy up here. Now I'm going to take on his buddy. Kill a couple of the little guys, and then we can make our move for the end. The only reason I'm killing these guys is just free up my path a little bit. Alright, so now you'll see I basically have almost a clear path. I just got to take out this last brute standing in my way. Again, don't stay in one location for too long because those raids are firing away. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to move to the end. So that'll be the end of the level, guys. Just follow this path here. Make sure you have a jetpack to make your life a little easier. And you're just going to hop up here, activate the switch, and that'll be the end of the level. So thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you get the chance. I hope you're enjoying this walkthrough. It's getting close to the end. And I will see you in the next mission.
Now or never, Spartan. Missile defense online. All evac transports. You are clear for takeoff. Repeat, you are clear for takeoff. Go now.
Civilian transport away. You saved a lot of lives today, Spartan.
Copy. Repeat, this is Noble 2, Noble 6, Noble 5. Do you copy?
This is 6. Go ahead, Noble 2.
We picked up your transponder about an hour ago, but could not risk open comms. Covenant have the city sealed tight. We're getting nothing from George.
He didn't make it.
Understood. What's the situation at Starport exit?
The last transport is away.
All right. We're bringing you to us.